Hey guys, it's Camille here and welcome to this week's reaction video. I also just finished my first day of 10th grade. That video will be up on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, we are reacting to 5 stories that prove Kobe wasn't human because if you may remember in my last reaction video, I said that I'd probably react to this next. This video is also by Pro Sport. So, yeah, let's get right into it, I guess.
Second leading scorer. They need some help. Long run out.
So we all knew Kobe wasn't human anyway.
Kobe Bryant behind.
Kobe Bean Bryant is one of the most decorated athletes in the history of professional sports. He's a 5-time world champion, scored 81 points in one game, and produced a Hall of Fame career in 2 different jersey numbers.
Maybe I'll react to that sometime because I don't think I've seen the game where he actually scored 81 points in one game. So let me know if you think that's something I should react to.
Years of mastery in the NBA. All great athletes have a unique story to tell. The greats all feature something truly special about them that helped them reach supreme heights of performance, whether that's coming from a challenged background, growing up through poverty, or anything that helped fuel them to reach a certain level of greatness. For Kobe, he didn't come from poverty, nor did he have a story to tell about a challenging upbringing. In the words of Michael Jordan, Kobe was maybe tougher than even I was. He was Kobe Bean Bryant, a human being, a specimen. Unlike any other athlete
Kobe Bryant, the hardest worker out there.
Closely observed. He had a killer instinct vastly different from any other star of his kind. He was crazy obsessed. He was insane. Kobe's level of preparation and commitment to the game of basketball is what helped him become Kobe. His work ethic was relentless, and we saw that manifest for 20 great years on the hardwood. The level of confidence he had in his abilities is what really put him a step ahead of the rest of the league. Kobe jumped straight to the pros as a 17-year-old coming out of high school in 1996. If there are words that can accurately describe Kobe's unrelenting mindset...
Also, this has nothing to do with this, but who else is curious if Bronny James is going to go to college or go right into the NBA like his dad did to be able to play with his dad quicker?
He was a 17-year-old that walked into Los Angeles telling everybody that he was the best player on the court. Now, mind you, this was a kid in high school just a month earlier. It was moments like these that made the Black Mamba special, and stories like this helped create 20 years of great stories. Kobe's mentality started the trademark Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality is what today's players use as a means of reaching a certain mental space that helps them reach a certain level of play out on the court. It's a way to pay homage to the hero Kobe was to many of our favorite NBA stars today.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
He was arguably one of the 5 best hoopers to ever step on a court. But what makes Kobe's legacy so spectacular is the mental foundation he laid out for generations of talented young players. What exactly makes the Mamba mentality so iconic? Why do stars idolize Kobe and work hard at trying to emulate his game? There's so much to uncover with...
I'm gonna guess because he used it, and that's what got him to the level he was at.
His brilliant career. Some things about his greatness will inspire you, some things will leave you scratching your chin, and some, well, it might just scare you. Don't believe it? You better listen up, because here are some incredible, rare stories of the great Kobe Bryant that prove he wasn't human. If the first story doesn't accurately sum up just how special Kobe was, I don't know what does.
They're probably gonna mention the 81-point game.
Story told by Kobe's personal trainer, Tim Grover, he said that the challenge with Kobe was getting him to stop. He told Kobe, "You're working out too much." Kobe was the essence of a workout warrior. It got to the point where he was out-training the trainer himself. Grover talked about how Kobe would call him every night at 3 a.m. for nearly 3 months, asking Grover to get in the gym with him right here, right now, to train him. If you're wondering about
that is dedication right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Why Kobe chose him as his trainer is because of really one reason. That reason is that Grover was also Michael Jordan's personal trainer. And if we know one thing about Kobe, is that he wanted to do everything like his idol, MJ. From the workouts to the walking, talking, all the mannerisms, he wanted to be the second coming of MJ. What made this all even more credible was where Kobe was in his career at the time. He was only in his early 20s, and in his first few seasons in the league, when Grover couldn't get him to stop working out non-stop. Young players we see today rely on their youth and skill set. Kobe, meanwhile, even though he had all the talent in the world, he wanted to adopt the mindset of a seasoned all-timer that's been around the game forever. Truly a different breed. Kobe worked out harder, Michael worked out smarter. Grover was essentially
I
saying
like
that Kobe's
that.
mindset was on par with, if not greater than, the mindset of Michael Jordan. We're all aware of the intense mindset of MJ, his competitive spirit, his rip-out-your-throat mindset, and the obsession with winning. If people thought we would never see another player that would rival MJ's mindset, we were beginning to see just that in Kobe's Mamba mentality. A kid in his early 20s goes out and links up with the same guy who trained MJ and asked him to be in the gym with him at 3 in the morning? Like, huh?
Bruh. I mean, sheesh. To ask your trainer who's supposed to know what's best for you, if he will go with you into the gym at 3 a.m. when that's not even like a time he has scheduled for. I mean, oh my goodness.
We'll never see a guy quite like Kobe Bryant again. But then again, this was just the beginning for the ruthless Mamba. If you thought there would come a point in Kobe's career that he would scale back the training and preserve his aging body, yeah, you're dead wrong. I mean, I kind of get it. Kobe was like 22 or 23 years old when he sought out Grover to train him at 3 in the morning. He was young then, right? When you're that young, your body can take a lot more beating and still be able to recover fast. But not when you're 34 years old. Here's the story.
What, did he still do it when he was 34?
He's now entering his 17th season in the NBA. 17 years. A trainer for Team
Oh my
USA.
god, every basketball player knows how great and annoying this drill can be at the same time.
He tells a story about Kobe's ridiculous workout routine during the 2012 Olympics. He said that Kobe's workout usually got more intense in the offseason, which I didn't think was even remotely possible, but then again, you never know with Kobe. According to the trainer that worked
Wouldn't you
closely
want it to
with
be
Kobe
more
during
difficult in the
summer of
off-season
2012,
though, if you're not?
Kobe would call him at 4:15
Especially
every
over
day from the
working
practice
yourself
facility
during
and
the
would ask him to
regular
come work
season.
out with him in the gym. The trainer admitted that he grew sleep-deprived and restless because of Kobe not leaving him alone during
Yo,
the summer.
Kobe
He
made
went on
his
to say that by the
trainer
time he got down to
sleep
the gym, Kobe was somehow already drenched in sweat like he had played a 5-on-5 game of pickup. It wouldn't even be 5 in the morning when all of this would transpire. Nonetheless,
Yeah, wasn't
around
there something about like, I don't know. I feel like there was this story where one of his teammates came and Kobe was shooting around and he was there for like 3 hours or so already. I don't know. I feel like I heard
7 a.m.,
something.
the trainer would go home, get some rest before needing to return to the facility later in the day. Now, get this. The trainer said that when he returned to the facility one day when the rest of the Team USA roster arrived for practice, so LeBron, Wade, Durant, Melo, etc., he remembers seeing Kobe alone on the other side of the court getting up shots. He says to Kobe, "Good work this morning." Kobe said, "Oh yeah, thanks man, I really appreciate it." "So when did you finish?" asking Kobe what time he left the facility this morning to rest up before Team USA's practice at noon. Kobe said, "Finish what?" He then clarified by
Was this
saying,
what I was
"Getting your shots
talking
up.
about?
What time did you end up leaving the facility?" In
know.
vintage Kobe
This might be
terms,
what
he
I'm
said,
talking about, but I
just
don't know.
now. I wanted to make 800 shots, so yeah, just now.
Yeah, I don't know,
This
but
conversation
that might have
happened
been what I
close
was
to noon that
trying
day,
to
which meant
talk about.
Kobe had been in the gym working on his game for over 7 hours. At 34
Oh,
years
my
old,
bad. It was 7 hours.
accomplished nearly everything a player could ever hope to accomplish, and already having the unbreakable respect from your peers, yet he was still out here working his tail
That's
off.
how you get in
Yeah,
true
that's Kobe being
basketball
Bryant,
shape,
and I
yo.
gotta say, if the story alone doesn't prove that Kobe is the mentally toughest player ever, nothing will. The first couple of stories about Kobe are insane. You may be left thinking, did Kobe ever sleep at night during his career? Well, unless just a couple of hours
Probably
counts as
not.
getting sleep, then no, not really. Kobe even said it himself when he sat down to do an interview on ESPN early in his career. He said, "I don't need too many hours of sleep, man. I can go off
3 to 4 hours a day,
This man
and
was
he
putting his
still
body
won
through all
5
the wear and tear. He
championships.
exerted all that energy.
And you get told that getting less sleep can affect your performance. This man is living proof that doesn't necessarily have to be true.
Yet he still put together one of the greatest resumes in sports history. How about another instance when Kobe put his trainer through more physical misery than himself? The time when Kobe and his trainer, Tim Grover, biked over 40 miles until 2 a.m. This was the night before the 2008 Team USA would hold their first practice. And if you've learned anything about Kobe's insane work ethic, yeah, you probably know where I'm about to go with this.
Yeah.
That man was in the gym just 5 hours after biking all night at 7:30 a.m. to begin practicing shots, hours before any other player on the team would show up. Apart from being a great athlete is having a supreme level of self-confidence. A lot of players are confident in their abilities, but Kobe, like pretty much everything else, took his whole self-confidence thing to a whole nother level. Right around his third season in the league, the young Kobe told future Hall of Famer and one of the premier defenders in the league at the time, Gary Payton, a thing or two about what he will go on to accomplish in the NBA. This is mind-blowing to say the very least. The self-assured Black Mamba told Gary Payton that he would become the best player in the league, would win at least 5.
Did Gary Payton, did he even win any? Oh, y'all, Gary Payton,
and that he would become the all-time leading
second
scorer
back on the Warriors.
The kid who wasn't even drafted in the top 10, the kid who averaged just over 7 points per game.
And he said he'd be the best player in the league.
Mouthful, and he said it like there was no way he wouldn't back up what he said. It's understandable to hear something like that from a kid who was drafted first or second overall, or maybe was already regarded as top 5 player in the league. But Kobe had yet to prove anything at that point in his career. Kobe was cold-blooded, a basketball assassin. The kid who was talking all that trash to Gary Payton that one day indeed ended up becoming the best player in the game, won 5 ships, and scored the most points in Lakers history. Check, and
oh, did I get it mistaken? I think
so. I'm actually wondering, was he human? One player who was a rookie at the time told a truly captivating story about Kobe when he would get to play against his idol for the first time ever in 2009. That was Gerald Henderson, who played his rookie season with the then Charlotte Bobcats. The story might just convince you once and for all that Kobe was a psychopath. Henderson, being the young player he was, recalls sharing a freaky cool moment with his idol a few hours before the start of the game. When Henderson saw that Kobe paused his pregame shooting and was gesturing over to the arena maintenance crew, Henderson came over to ask Kobe why he stopped shooting. Kobe said, "It's too low." At first, Henderson was confused about what Kobe was talking about. Then Kobe clarified, saying the rim is a quarter of an inch too low. Henderson still wasn't
the way he just like knows that.
Following the entire situation.
And it's only a quarter of an inch low, and he still knows.
To himself, what is Kobe talking about? Who told him the rim was low? How does he know it's a fourth of an inch too low? After the game, he asked the maintenance crew about the whole instance and what Kobe had told him. He was told that Kobe somehow identified that the rim was too low, so the crew had to adjust the rim before the game started. A quarter of an inch. That's what Kobe said to Henderson. I don't know about you, but the fact that he was able to see with his naked eye that inconceivable difference in the height of the rim shows you the incredibly long hours Kobe had spent in his life looking at a rim. Okay, I'll concede, and obviously he's human, but it's just crazy to hear about stories like Gerald Henderson's. This is the Mamba mentality. All the wild anecdotes of Kobe's remarkable career are a precise reflection of how mentally and emotionally invested he was to his craft. Kobe left an inspiring legacy, a Hall of Fame legacy in both performance and mindset. His mindset and the birth of the Mamba mentality revolutionized the way our athletes today prepare and condition their bodies and mind for supreme athletic performance. Kobe's death stunned us all, and we miss him dearly. There will never be another Kobe being Bryant. But if there's one thing we learned from the late great Mamba, is that a legacy is made up on the path to chasing success. And in the words of legend himself, after all, greatness is not for everybody.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. But anyways, that is all I have for, 7 times Kobe proved he wasn't human. I mean, this dude was the complete opposite. He was, man, I don't even know how to describe it. But yeah, like I said, that's all I really got for this. So I will see you in Thursday's video. Peace. Broccoli.